we'll go ahead and get this work session started on the youth representatives and alternate representative. We'll go ahead and start with introductions, starting with John.
John Weddleton.
Nick Valentine.
Pete Peterson.
Christopher Constant.
Felix Rivera. And you can go ahead and introduce yourself for the record.
I'm Zafar Strain. You're going to speak up.
Zafar Strain, sorry.
So there's a lot going on today, so apologies that we don't have more folks here in the room, but we'll go ahead and just go through this. So the Youth Advisory Commission, their executive committee, which is listed on the bottom part of the second page of our packet here, they went through applicants and they chose these two applicants per the code. And basically the process is we're going to interview at least one of the applicants today, and then we'll figure out how to interview McKenna in some other fashion. Then this will be coming before us. Is this scheduled for the 23rd to come before us? So then this will come before us on the 23rd. And basically on the 23rd, you will see me put in these blank spots the names. And then if the body feels very strongly that I chose the wrong individuals, then they can swap the names out if they so please. This will be our second time doing this. I will say that we really did enjoy Ms. Broski's involvement on the assembly and looking forward to our new youth representatives. So let's go ahead and just get started. I have a short series of questions and I'll open up to the body to ask any questions that they have. So first, simply, why don't you introduce yourself?
Zafar Strain, as I said before, I am currently going to a junior year at Highland Academy. I just turned 16. And Lily actually introduced me to this position, and it was such an amazing opportunity, and I was like so excited to hear about it and apply for it and even be here. So that's a little bit about me, and yeah.
All right. What has been your involvement with the city so far?
Not a lot locally. I did go to Juneau with Teen Council and Planned Parenthood to lobby with my legislators and things like that, and senators to talk about issues that are important to Planned Parenthood and Teen Council and things like that. And I often go to rallies and things like that, and protests and things like that, but this is honestly my first time being involved in something so hands-on.
Okay. And in your words, what do you think the assembly does?
I would say you guys just really serve the public, I guess, and serve to ease concerns, serves to clarify concerns, obviously vote on important issues and things like that, and really just be a beacon of education for the community and things like that, and a way for the community to get involved more.
All right. And then what do you hope to do as the youth rep?
Well, what reps do, I guess, and just be, a microphone for the voices of Anchorage and just bring their voices and their opinions and their knowledge to the table of the assembly. And also bring my voice and my opinion and what I feel is important and my education to the table and really just be the best microphone I can be for them.
Okay. So those were sort of the basic questions I had. So if you guys want to go deeper into that. Mr. Constant.
Yeah, thanks. Good morning. So, what do you do with your time other than school?
Well, I was working on getting a part-time job, but I didn't. But currently for summer, I am doing iSchool to get ahead in my classes for senior year. And I enjoy most teenage activities and things like that.
What does that mean? I'm not a teenager anymore.
Sorry, I play video games, I guess, and things like that, and I enjoy spending times outdoors and things like that. And I would say I'm pretty active in Teen Council's role, so I go to extracurricular activities and things like that. I just went to Pride and I walked in the parade and things like that. So that's usually what I spend my time doing.
Yeah, Mr. Vogt.
A couple questions. So, which is your community council?
Oh, sorry, what?
What community council do you belong to?
Community councils? I don't know what that is.
What area do you live in?
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. I live on the east side, so
Probably the Northeast Community Council.
I would love to have you go to www.communitycouncils.org and educate yourself on the grassroots, the way that people should get involved with their city government. It's get an education on how things work, what the assembly does, our relationship with the mayor and administration, and so on. But it really is your best way to get involved with city government at any age.
Just if I might quick follow on that, it would be first a question to find out if your community council, which is based on your address, allows youth membership, and if they don't, that's definitely something to dig into.
Well, they all do, absolutely. They don't necessarily let youth vote.
Right.
And I think that's a shame. But anybody who lives in that area, if you are a member of that community council and you're involved and your voice will be heard, they don't shut people down. I've never seen anyone shut anyone down because they were young.
Well, I have.
So, and that would be involved with that community council that you could remedy. But community councils are a great source that many of us took to learn as we developed and then found our pathways to the assembly.
I have waited to suffer. I have seen them shut kids down. Why are you talking? I've seen it.
I'm sure it happened.
What we need is young people to get in there and say, this is not how it works. Because John's right. That's someplace to go.
Yeah, if I can follow. True. So you're not totally familiar with what the assembly actually does.
unfortunately,
What does Congress do compared to the president?
I believe they learn, or I guess they vote on what he does, and
Not apparently now.
yeah, I will say that my forte is definitely in social issues. I am not quite familiar with the government, but I'm 100% willing to learn and willing to dedicate myself to furthering my education on the right titles, the right votes, the right vocabulary, and things like that. But I'm definitely more educated on social issues and things like that than I am on the way that the government and specifically the local government works.
Thank you. Mr. Peterson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I see some of the schools that you have attended were in the Lower 48. How long have you been living here in Oak Ridge?
I just moved up here in 8th grade, but I was born here and I lived here for about 2 years before I moved out, and then I moved back in 8th grade, so I've lived here for a total of, I think, 5 years.
And so, do you come from a military family, or?
No, I get asked that question a lot, but my mom and my dad just like to move around and like to experience different areas to live in, so I've lived in a whole bunch of states.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Yeah, Ms. Alton.
What question might you have? So I'm a new member. I've been here 3-4 months now. What question might you have for me as a new member on the assembly? Something that you would want to know that I may or may not know the answer to.
Thank you for asking. I have a whole bunch of questions. As I mentioned, I'm not that educated. I will definitely do a lot of research and learn. But I guess what way can I serve best for you guys? My question.
That is always a key question, I think, for a lot of members, is what way we can serve best, regardless of our tenure on the body. So it's a good question. Thanks.
I can just say from the experience that we have had, Ms. Borowski, I think, served best when she spoke up and she let us know the youth's, what she believed to be at least, the youth's voice on a specific matter. And I would say, just based on what I saw from my colleagues' response to that her voice at times swayed people sometimes to even change their mind on the subject. So that was probably where she did the best work that she could, which is just letting her voice be known and letting the youth's voice be known, which I think was one of the main reasons why we created this position, because we felt that there was that lack of perspective, and so being bold and willing and able to speak up is really important. All right. Any other questions, guys?
Just comment. I suggest you will have the time to go out for coffee with Julie and ask her the question, what's the job and what's the difference between Congress and the president, and just get a brief from her on the big picture. Because she now, after 9 months, has a pretty intimate understanding of one way to do it. You would have, if you were appointed, your own way to do it, of course. But just a thought.
Thank you.
All right. So what we'll be doing is I will likely, if the body is okay with this, just conduct a phone interview with Miss McKenna. She's going to be on vacation, so it's probably going to be some random time that she is available to speak with me. And then after speaking with Miss McKenna, I will go ahead and do an amendment that plugs in the names on the AM, and then we will debate this on the 23rd. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in today, and I look forward to working with you.
Me too.